Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Insha'Allah, today we will start lesson number 1 of our series Medina Book 1. And in order to benefit and understand these lessons completely, please make sure to watch and master the first 6 lessons about basic grammatical concepts. As you know that in the beginning, we started with the basic grammatical concepts, and we discussed about the 4 properties of the noun. So it is very important that you know about the 4 properties of the noun in order to benefit from these lessons. So in lesson number 1, we are going to learn about demonstrative pronoun, ismul ishara, and that one is hada. Hada means this, and it is used to point to a singular human, thing, animal, etc. So it is used to point towards something which is singular. It can be a human, it can be a thing, or it can be an animal. Then we will learn about ma, which means what, and it is used to ask questions about things or animals or objects. Then we will learn about man, who, it means who, and it is used to ask questions about humans. So now if you see the basic difference between ma and man, so we can see over here that ma is used to ask questions about things or animals or objects, but man is used to ask questions about humans. And then we have hamzatul istifham. As we know that this is hamza and this is not alif. Basically, hamza is using alif as its chair, and we know that whenever alif has hamza on it, or it has any vowel sign on it or beneath it, then it becomes hamza. So this is called hamzatul istifham, and it is used to ask interrogative questions. It is used basically to ask the questions which have the answer either yes or no. And then we will learn about two particles. The first one is na'am, that means yes, and the second one is la, that means no. So these are particles, as we call them, huruf. So inshallah, these are our objectives of the lesson that we are going to learn, lesson number 1. Now, if you remember, we discussed in detail that basically a tanween, as we know that tanween can be dhammatan or fathatan or kasratan. So when we have a tanween on a common noun an-nakira, as we know, indefinite common noun, it gives the meaning of a or an. So how do we get the meaning of a or an? In Arabic, we don't really have anything that can be compared to a or an. So that's why we have to use this tanween. So when we say kitabun, it means a book, and filun, it means an elephant, as we can see over here. Similarly, in Arabic, there is no equivalent to is or am, and that is very, very important. So these are the small observations that we need to understand. And once you get through these observations, inshallah, you will see that your understanding of the Arabic language will be comprehended a lot. So how do we get the meaning of is or am? So we get the meaning of is or am, we call them be verb or helping verb, by placing a definite and indefinite nouns together. Now, inshallah, I'm sure if you have gone through the previous lessons, you know that what a definite noun is, which is basically marifa, and you know what an indefinite noun is, which is a nakira. And when we put them together, we get the meaning of is or am, and then it becomes a complete sentence. For example, hada is a definite noun, and we have discussed why it's a definite noun, because all asma'ul ishara, demonstrative pronouns, they are definite. So hada is a definite noun, and baytun is indefinite noun because it's a common noun and it has tanween on it. So when we put these two nouns together, hada and baytun, Now it becomes a complete sentence, and the meaning will be, this is a house. So how do we get the meaning of is? Basically, we put two nouns together, indefinite, definite, and indefinite, two nouns together, and ultimately we get the meaning of a complete sentence in English. So it becomes, this is a house. Okay, so we discussed about ma and man. So we really need to know, like we said that ma is used for things and man is used for humans. So basically, there are two categories that we need to know. First of all, we need to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Khaliq. He is the creator. And we are what? We are creatures. Makhluq or makhluqat. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator and we are creatures. We are makhluqat. Now, this point is very, very important. And inshallah, it will help you a lot throughout your experience of learning Arabic language. If you focus on this now, that there are only two types of creatures. Number one, we call them aqilun, that means rational beings, and they are only three: humans, animals, and jinns. Only three rational beings. And of course, we are talking about makhluqat, creatures. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator, fahuwa aqilun. And when we talk about the creation, we say that humans, angels, and jinns, they are in the category of aqilun. They are rational beings. And everything else, as we can see over here, everything else is ghayru aqilin. They are irrational beings. So there are only three rational beings: humans, angels, and jinns. And the rest of the creations or creatures, we can say, all of them, everything else is ghayru aqilin, as we can see over here. And now we can see over here that man is used for rational beings, or it is used for aqil. As we know that the first question that we will be asked in the grave will be, man rabbuka, who is your Lord? So we can see that man is used for, yes, animals are irrational. Yes, yes. There are only three creatures like humans, angels, and jinns. They are, at least for the Arabic language, they are categorized as aqil, and the rest of the things are considered as ghayru aqil. So man rabbuka, who is your Lord? And then the second question that will be asked is ma dinuka, what is your religion? Now we can see that ma is not in the category of humans. It's not in the category of angels. It's not in the category of jinns. So that we can see that everything else is ghayru aqil, and for that we use ma, as we can see over here. So man is used for humans, angels, jinns, and of course for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and ma is used for the rest of the creatures, as we can see over here. So we will be talking a lot about aqilun wa ghayru aqilin. We will be talking a lot about that. So from today, inshallah, you should have a very clear concept about this. All right. So you remember we started with the alphabets, right? Then we talked about al-kalima, and subhanallah, today we have reached a stage where we are going to talk about al-jumlatu, a sentence. So now we will talk about complete sentences. Okay. So as we can see over here, the complete sentences, there are only two types of sentences in Arabic, only two types, nothing more. So that's also very, very simple, as we can see over here. So al-jumlatu is a sentence, and what are those two types? Al-jumlatul ismiyatu, nominal sentence, and nominal sentence always starts with a noun. As we can see over here, hadha kitabun, this is a book. So it is a nominal sentence. And then we have al-jumlatul fi'liyatu, which is called a verbal sentence. And as it is clear from the name, it always starts with a verb. And in the previous lesson, we took this example: Sa'ada Zaidun Hamidan. Zaid helped Hamid. Now, again, we need to know small differences between Arabic and English. Normally, in English, we do not start a sentence with a verb in English, unless it's a command. Of course, command is used like go there, sit here. We know. Other than that, we don't really start a sentence with a noun, but in Arabic, we can see that we can start a sentence with the verb, and we can also start a sentence with the noun, as we can see over here. هذا كتاب, this is a book. So you know that we are dealing with the noun, and the Sheikh has also started the books with the nominal sentence. So that's why we will focus on the nominal sentence first. Al-Jumlatul Ismiyatu. As I mentioned previously, that nominal sentence always starts with a noun. Always starts with the noun. Now we really need to understand the Arabic language. What we basically do, we need to know the combination of the nouns, because I have told you that there is no is, are, am, and similarly we don't have a or an in Arabic. So what do? If we are able to understand these combinations, that's it. So what we do, basically, we put two nouns together, and the combination of two nouns will give us a complete meaning. It will be a complete sentence, or it will give us the meaning. So we need to know, we have to understand what is the combination. So if you are able to understand the combination, that would be perfect. That's number one. Number two, in English, no sentence can be completed without a verb. We either need a helping verb or we need a verb. In English, no sentence can be completed without a be verb or without the main verb. But in Arabic, it is possible that we can complete a sentence without a verb. So we put two nouns together, and what do we get? We get a complete sentence. So, for example, we have hada is a noun, qalamun is a noun. Now, hada qalamun, hada this, qalamun a pen. Is it a complete sentence? It doesn't make any sense. Hada this, qalamun a pen. So in English, we don't really get a complete meaning. So what we will do now, we can just make a nominal sentence by placing definite, as we can see over here, and indefinite nouns together. So when we put definite and indefinite noun together, now we will get a complete sentence. So hada is definite, qalamun is indefinite, and this is a pen. Now, how do we get the meaning of is? And how do we get a complete sentence? By putting two nouns together. But what kind of two nouns together? We must have a definite noun and we must have indefinite noun. And when we put them together, it becomes a complete sentence. Excellent. Yeah. Similarly, hada, this, miftahun, key. So this a key, as we know that miftahun is a common noun, a key. So I will give you a very easy formula. What you need to do, basically, when you see two nouns in Arabic language, try to place in between is, are, am, and see where you can put is, are, am. So for example, hada is miftahun. So we can put is over here. So hada is miftahun. And now it becomes a complete sentence. This is a key. So it's a very simple trick that you can use. You can always use. So you have to place is, are, am, and wherever you can place is, are, am, then the sentence will be divided into two parts, the first part and the second part, and the sentence is complete. This is a key. Okay, so demonstrative pronouns, as we saw in the beginning of the lesson, that we will discuss with demonstrative pronouns. And now we need to know that we have to do 4D analysis of the noun. 4D analysis of every noun. So what is 4D analysis of every noun? First of all, we need to know, the capacity of the noun. So is it definite or indefinite? So the first thing that we need to know is the capacity, and how that we know that this is definite. We have learned about this in the one of the previous lessons. So we know that this is a definite noun. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we need to know the gender. Is it masculine or feminine? We know it's a masculine because it does not have ta marbuta. So it's masculine. And then we have to know the number. Is it singular or plural? So we can see that this is singular. And then the fourth thing we have to know, is it marfu, mansub, and majroor? So what is this? It is marfu. Why is it marfu? Because by default, every noun is marfu. If you remember that, I told you that by default, every noun is marfu. So we have to do, as I said, we have to do 4D analysis of every noun. And if you are able to do that, inshallah, 80% of your Arabic understanding of Arabic will be clear. So hada means this, number one. It is a definite noun. it is masculine, it is singular, and it is marfu'. Okay, what does it mean? Why do we use it? It is used for near distance. It is used for what? Near distance. Ismul ishara lil qarib. So something that is near, we use this. Like in English, we say this, something that is qarib. So it is used for near distance. And one more thing that we need to know, it is written as hada, like this, and it is pronounced like this, hada. And you know that there is a small alif basically over here, which normally in modern standard Arabic, they don't write over here. So basically this alif is over here. That means it equals 2 harakat. So it is, we prolong it for 2 seconds. So basically the written transcript will be like this, hada, but the pronunciation, as we know, it is like this. So this is called hada. Also, we need to know about this. Okay. Now, here we go. نحن نبدأ الدرس الأول. Here we begin lesson number 1. الدرس الأول, lesson number 1. And we know that al and tanween don't come together. So we have to put الدرس الأول. That's why we don't have tanween over here. And also we need to know that here we have a combination of 2 nouns, and both of them are definite nouns. So is it a complete sentence now? Ad-darsu al-awwalu. Is it a complete sentence? Of course not. Why is it not a complete sentence? It's not a complete sentence because a complete sentence should have a combination of definite and indefinite noun. It should have a combination of definite or indefinite noun, but here it is a different construction. So inshallah, when we proceed further, we will come to know about this, that it's incomplete construction. It's not a complete construction. Please read here. We make a nominal sentence. We make a complete nominal sentence by placing definite and indefinite nouns together. Definite and indefinite nouns together. But here, both of them are what? Both of them are definite. So the condition is not met. That's why it's not a complete sentence. It's not a complete sentence. Exactly. So that's why we say ad-darsu al-awwalu, lesson 1. And now we can see over here that it starts with, yeah, it's the heading. Excellent. Yeah. So we start with hada. And as we know that about hada, we have learned that it's a definite noun, and it is singular, and it is masculine, and it is used for near distance. All right. So now we have over here, we have sentence number 1, hada baytun. So what we have to do, basically, we have to put a line, and we should try to put is between that. So whenever we can put is between that, so it becomes hada is baytun. This is a house. So what is the combination now? We can see the combination over here, the combination of definite noun and indefinite noun. So as we can see over here, hada baytun, so it is a complete sentence. This is a house, and is highlighted, as we can see over here, because it does not exist over here, and we have to produce the meaning of is, and now it's a complete sentence. Then we have hada masjidun. Again, how to read it? You will read it like this: hada is masjidun. You have to practice like this, so inshallah it will be easier. This is a masjid, and hada babun, this is a door. Yeah, this is a masjid. So now you need to know that the vocab is very important. So please write down all this vocab, yes, and try to memorize it. Vocab is very, very important. Okay. Now we have more sentences over here, complete sentences. Hada kitabun. So you just put a line over here. So it is, this is a book. Hada is kitabun. This is a book. Similarly, we have hada is qalamun. This is a pen. And similarly, we have hada is miftahun. This is a key. And again, I'm emphasizing that in order to get a complete sentence, we should have a definite noun and indefinite noun, ma'rifa and nakira, ma'rifa and nakira, ma'rifa and nakira. And when we have the combination of definite and indefinite noun, then it becomes a complete sentence. So we have book here, we have qalam here, and we have miftah over here. Then we have هذا مكتب. This is a desk, as we can see in the picture. And then we have هذا سرير. This is a bed. Yes, inshallah. And when you read the Quran, you will read in the Quran هذا حلال هذا حرام. This is permissible, this is not permissible. You will be able to understand so many sentences, inshallah, so many verses of the Quran after completing this lesson. But you have to follow this formula, and you have to make sure that you master the previous lessons that we have learned in the beginning of the desk and table. Yeah, can mean the same. Yeah, but for table, there in Arabic they use the verb tawilatun. Tawilatun is used for the table, and maktabun is used for the desk. Then we have hada sarirun. This is a bed, and hada kursiyun. This is a chair. However, I would like you to notice the ending over here. All of them have the same ending. So that is very, very important. All of them have the same ending. What is the meaning of dhammatan? What does that mean? That the noun is what? Marfu'. That the noun is marfu'. Okay. So as of now, the only thing that we need to know that no, we cannot use al-kitab with that. No, please don't add anything. Only focus on this construction. We have to take each construction step by step. So do not change the construction, because once you change the construction, you will be off the track. You will be off the track. So you have to stick to one construction at one time. Okay. And you have to focus only on two things. Definite and indefinite noun, and you have to focus on the case endings. That's it, the case endings. Okay, we know that hada is marfu'. Why it is marfu'? Because we have seen that a noun by default is marfu', and now you should also see that the second noun has to be marfu' as well. So both of them are marfu'. This is very, very important. The only thing that you need to remember, that both of nouns are marfu'. Both of them are in the nominative case. Both of them are marfu'. So this is a chair, as we can see over here. And then we move on to, we have to learn about ma, and we have to learn about hamzatul istifham. What is this? Hamzatul istifham, hamza of interrogation or interrogative hamza that is used to ask questions. So now both of them are particles. What are those? Both of them are particles. Please remember this. And they are particles of what? They are particles of questions. We use them to ask questions. Harafa al-istifham. Okay, what is the difference between these two? Hamza is used to ask yes-no questions. What does that mean? Yes-no questions. That means the answer is either yes or no. Look at the example. Ahada kitabun. Is this a book? Ahada kitabun. Is this a book? What will be the answer? It will be na'am, or it will be la. The only two answers are possible. Either we say la or we say na'am. So if it is yes, you will say na'am, and if it is no, it is la. In English, you can see, so it is a yes-no question. It starts with is or am, and the answer is always yes or no. Ma is used to ask information questions. What is the meaning of information questions? Now, the answer will not be yes or no. The answer cannot be yes or no. For example, when you say, ma hadha, what is this? Ma hadha, what is this? So what will be the answer? Yes, naam, la, of course not. So you will say, hadha kitabun, hadha qalamun. So you have to give a detailed answer. So you have to give some information about that. So that is the basic difference between hamza and the difference between ma. Both of them are particles, please remember, and both of them are used to ask questions. Very, very important. Especially you have to focus on ma, because there are many different types of ma, and inshallah when we proceed further we will learn about all the different types of ma. Okay, excellent. Now we can see over here ma hadha. So we have seen that ma means what, and it is used to ask questions about what? About irrational beings. You remember irrational beings? Ghayru aqil. We use ma to ask questions for what? To ask questions about irrational beings. غير عاقل. And we know that humans and angels and jinns are aqil, and the rest of the things, all of them are غير aqil, or they are irrational beings. Okay, so we have a combination of now we have a very interesting situation. Previously I told you that the combination of a proper noun and a common noun makes it a complete sentence, but here we have a twist. Here we have a combination of proper noun and common noun, but the order has changed. And why the order has changed? Because it is the requirement. What is the requirement? The requirement is that the question word should come in the beginning of the question, right? We cannot say hadha ma. Hadha ma does not make any sense. So the real sentence will be hadha ma, but since it's the requirement that this is harf al-istifham, it is used to ask a question, and we know that the question word always comes in the beginning of the sentence. Like we can see over here, what comes in the beginning of the sentence in English, and similarly ma should come in the beginning of the sentence in Arabic. However, the combination is the same, definite noun and indefinite noun. That's why we can get the meaning of is RM. Ma hadha. So what will be the translation? Ma hadha. Ma, you have to differentiate between these two. Ma is hadha, so the translation will be what is this? Okay, so the answer is hadha baytun. Can we answer with yes or no? Of course not. We cannot answer yes or no, because it is detailed question and it is information question, so we have to give the complete answer. So what is this? As we can see over here, hadha baytun. This is a house. Hadha baytun. And now we have the second question that starts with hamzatul istifham. Ahadha baytun? Ahadha baytun? Is this a house? So now this is a question which we are asking to use hamzatul istifham, and the answer has to be yes or no, because it is yes no question. So you will say na'am hadha baytun. Na'am hadha baytun. Yes, this is a house. Ma hadha. Now we can see in this picture, ma hadha, what is this? And the answer is hadha qamisun. This is a shirt. Hadha qamisun. Excellent. Now we have the questions that we can see, the questions with only hamzatul istifham, and we know that hamzatul istifham is used to ask yes no questions. So the question is ahadha sarirun? Is this a bed? Yes, is this a bed? So what is the answer? La hadha kursiyun. No, it is a chair. So now it is confirmed that when the question is with a, then we have to give the answer with la or na'am. Ahadha miftahun? Is this a key? Is this a key? La hadha qalamun. No, this is a pen. And then we have the question with ma. So ma hadha, what is this? And the answer is hadha najmun. This is a star. So now inshallah, I'm sure that the learning is becoming easier, and now you can relate like how the sentences are formed and how do we get the meaning of a complete sentence. Okay, so now you have some exercise, tamreen. Okay, no, I will not give you any information about anything else. As of now, we will stick only to what we are doing now, please. Otherwise, we will go off the track. So please just ask the questions related to this question, okay? So tamreenun means exercise. It means practice or exercise. And we know that ma is used to ask WH questions. That means it is used to ask questions with what, okay? So now question number one, ma hadha. What is this? Ma hadha. What is this? Okay, what is your answer? Hadha miftahun. Excellent. Hadha miftahun. Excellent. The answer is over here. Okay, and then we can see ma hadha. What is this? And hadha kitabun. Excellent. Hadha kitabun. This is a book. Ma hadha. What is this? Hadha qalamun. This is a pen. Excellent. Very good. So that's the exercise. Ma hadha. What is this? Hadha babun. This is a door. Ma hadha. What is this? هذا بيت. Excellent. Please focus on the ending. Very important. هذا بيت. هذا باب. هذا بيت. ما هذا? What is this? هذا كرسي. هذا كرسي. It is a chair. Excellent. Now we have exercise and we are going to ask questions using yes no questions. Why we have yes no questions? Because we have Hamzatul Istifham. So the answer will be yes or no. So I have given you all the information, inshallah, so that you don't forget. So ahada baytun, is this a house? What is this? Ahada baytun. La hada masjidun. No, this is a masjid. Ahada miftahun. Ahada miftahun that you see in the picture. Is this a key? Is this a key? La hada qalamun. This is a pen. Excellent. Ahada qamisun. Is this a shirt? Naam, hada qamisun. Naam, hada qamisun. Yes, this is a shirt. Ahada najmun. Is this a star? Naam, hada najmun. Excellent. Okay. And now we have exercise for you, tamreenun. Okay. And what you have to appreciate about these books. Okay. First of all, iqra waktub, read and write. So inshallah we will discuss about this when we start the verb. As of now, you can see that this is command. Iqra waktub, both of these are commands. Okay. So the beauty of these books is that in the beginning of the lessons, you will see the ending signs. You will see the ending signs. But when you proceed further in the lesson, the ending signs will disappear. And that is what it is all about. The Arabic language is all about. So the ending signs will disappear. So how do we read it now? I told you to focus on the ending. So we have to put dammatan over here. So we will say hada maktabun. Excellent. So now you have to practice all of this. So what you have to do, you have to put dammatan. So please, if you have your books, write down the answers on your books and put the case endings. Okay. So all of them, we have to put case endings as here we can see هذا مسجد هذا قلم هذا سرير. What's the meaning of sarir? Bed. Yeah, هذا سرير. This is the bed. Then we have ما هذا. Okay, the case ending of ما هذا, don't change anything. The ending will not change because we know ma is fixed noun and or fixed particle, and هذا is also fixed particle. So we don't have to put any ending over here. هذا كرسي. This is a chair. So here we will put the case endings. And هذا بيت, is this a house? And here لا هذا مسجد. No, this is a masjid, as we can see over here. So we have to put the case endings. ما هذا. هذا مفتاح. Excellent. This is a key. انتهى الدرس, the end of the lesson. So alhamdulillah, in today's lesson you have learned so many things. You have learned about hada, you have learned about ma, you have learned about hamzatul istifham, you have learned that there are only two types of creatures. We have rational and irrational. Rational means humans and jinns and humans, jinns and angels. Yeah. And irrational, the rest are irrational. And then we have also learned that the combination of a definite noun and indefinite noun makes a complete sentence. So that becomes a complete sentence. Intaha adars, the end of the lesson. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.